This is the Empire State for Morocco. All rise and remain standing into perpetuity. This is a Moorish American, Moroccan, Article 3, Court Action, Financing Statement and Foreclosure Command. I am Chief Governing Justice Kenesha LaShawn Lamb, Moorish American National, Consul, Vizier, Minister, Sovereign Lawyer, Fiduciary Executor at Virginia Republic. My free Moorish appellation is Karima Kenesha LaShawn El Bay. Both appellations are in red ink, in capitis diminutio nolo and solo, in propria persona sui juris and sui heritis at all times and at all points in times. Note pro tunc. We hereby terminate all black dead corporate contracts. Note pro tunc. I and all Moorish American nationals are the law and the government. We are the original, indigenous, ancient, natural, divyne peoples, heirs to all land, all commerce, and all natural resources. Our full faith and trust, our allegiance, our kreditt, our energy, are hereby vested in ourselves, for we are the people who are the original, indigenous, natural, divyne, ancient empire states at Morocco, and the lawful, factual, sovereign peoples at earth. We have accepted our sovereign ascension authority and exercise the supreme laws for the land at the Empire State of Morocco. We are the United States for America, the States United, the United States, the Moorish National Republic Federal Government, the Moorish American Consulate, Washington District for Columbia, and the Article 3 Moorish American Consular Court. We are the sovereign fiduciaries, receivers, secured creditors, executors, trustees, ministers, claimants, beneficiaries in this cause for action. We are peace. We are one nation, one state, one empire, and one God. Today's presentment is a 9-page document. The first one is a black dead United States Corporation Company death certificate dated for July 4th, 1776. And this death certificate is for the United States Corporation Company and all of its agents, principals, heirs, assigns, and any and all derivatives thereof. Signed by former custodian Joseph R. Biden Jr. and autographed, signed by the Honorable Chief Governing Justice Kenesha LaShawn Lamb, assenting to the President and Chief Medical Examiner for this death certificate. Second presentment is a fiduciary appointment to the office of the President. To all office holders, this letter does serve as notification and affirmation that the Honorable Chief Justice Kenesha LaShawn Lamb has accepted the appointment and titles of President and Fiduciary Officer for the United States in accordance with the Office of the President of the United States, the Office of the Treasury, the Constitution for the United States 1789 and 1791, the Bankruptcy Act of 1933, the Emergency Banking Act of 1933, House Resolution 192 of 1933, U.S. Department of Justice Tax, Non-Obligated Law, AA 222141, for all commerce, Supreme Court rulings and opinions, and all other applicable federal and state laws. It is the fiduciary responsibility to take control for, marshal all assets comprising an estate or a trust, especially when a fiduciary assumes office at the grantor's or testator's death. The prerequisite to immediate access to certain accounts is the fiduciary providing a court affidavit of authorization and producing a death certificate. Page 1 is that death certificate, and the court affidavits of authorization are the Constitution for the United States for America, the Treaty for Peace and Friendship, the Constitution for Virginia State, and the Zodiac Constitution, and the fiduciary affidavits that have been placed on the public record. Additionally, any person to whom the office of fiduciary of any state is so transferred shall, for all the purposes of this action, become and are deemed to be the trustee for the state in lieu of Joseph R. Biden, the person for whom the office was transferred from. The bearer of this letter is entitled to 100% immediate reimbursement or discharge on all commercial obligations and transactions with national identification bearing the United States Department of State Tax, non-obligated public law, AA 222141, as stated by the original indigenous American people, that are properly autographed with 2 signatures, one of which shall be from the Office of the Treasury, Janet Yellen, and we will present that exhibit on the next page. And the other autograph from the bearer of this letter, which is the former custodian, Joseph R. Biden. All authorities, duties, responsibilities, and benefits for the office of the president are hereby transferred. And Joseph Biden stated, "It has been an honor to serve." And Chief Justice Kenesha LaShawn Lamb has stated, "It is an honor to begin serving." Islam. Page 3 is a fiduciary appointment to Office of the Treasury. Again, this is addressed to all office holders. The letter does serve as notification and affirmation that I, Kenesha LaShawn Lamb, have accepted the appointment and titles of Treasurer and Fiduciary Officer for the United States in accordance with the Office of the President of the United States, the Office of the Treasury, the Constitution, the Bankruptcy Act, Emergency Banking Act, House Resolution 192, Department of Justice Tax Non-Obligated Law, AA 222141, for all commerce, Supreme Court rulings and opinions, and all other applicable federal and state laws. All financial instruments presented by the original indigenous people are properly autographed with 2 signatures, one of which shall be the Office of the Treasury, as signed below here, Janet L. Yellen, resigning from that office, and I, Kenesha LaShawn Lamb, assenting to that office. It is an honor to begin serving. Office of the Federal Bureau of Prisons. These appointment affidavits are dated for March 21st, 2022, and they have been distributed across the land via electronic notice, via email to the subjects across the land. And the dates on these appointments will be updated for the date that these presentments will be placed on the public record. So whenever we deem necessary to go ahead and place these documents on the public record, the dates on the documents will reflect that designated date. This letter serves as notification and affirmation that I, Kenesha LaShawn Lamb, accept the appointment and titles of Fiduciary Officer and Director for the Federal Bureau of Prisons in accordance with United States law, the Constitution, the Bankruptcy Act, the Emergency Banking Act, House Resolution 192, the U.S. Department of Justice, Tax Non-Obligated Public Law, AA 222141, for all commerce, all court rulings and opinions, and any other applicable federal and state laws. Additionally, a determination has been made by the federal government that the Federal Bureau of Prisons needs additional funds to operate. Therefore, according to the Emergency Banking Act 1933, Title III, the Federal Bureau of Prisons does hereby subscribe to the preferred stock in the state bank or trust company and shall discharge all obligations secured by such stock as collateral. The Federal Reserve has issued emergency currency, which shall be referred to as Federal Reserve banknotes, backed by the commercial capacity of any assets of the Federal Bureau of Prisons. This action is effective at all United States Department of Justice federal prisons immediately, per Title 5. Merrick Garland has signed off on this resignation. Document 5 is a public notice. There is a public notice from the city of Federal Way and also from the city of Virginia Beach. Notice is hereby given by the city of Federal Way to include the mayor's office, the public or the police department, and the city council for Federal Way that the following person is protected at all times retroactively, as stated by the trust of the people of Federal Way, for whom said person does provide public service. All protected persons and their property shall not be contacted, approached, detained, or violated at any time in accordance with the Federal Way revised codes and any other applicable laws to include the supreme law of the land. My person, Kanisha LaShawn Lamb, state security number ending in 6671, and note the mailing location for my person, signed by Jim Farrell. And this is the protected person's notice from the city of Virginia Beach. Again, all protected persons and their property shall not be contacted, approached, detained, or violated at any time in accordance with the Virginia Beach revised codes and any other applicable laws to include the supreme law of the land. My person, Kanisha LaShawn Lamb, state security number ending in 6671. Make note to the mailing location and address for my person. Signed by the former custodians, Glenn Youngkin, Office of the Mayor, and Paul W. Newdigate, Chief of Police. The Moors, the heirs to the land, have assented to Mayor, Chief of Police, fiduciary, judges and justices, and all other titles of nobility. Islam. The next presentment is a vaccination exemption affidavit for facts. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent. It is against the religious rights of the people, as is protected by the United States Republican Constitution, Article 1 of the Bill of Rights, to engage in any way with the immunization process per self-determination. The religious rights of the people are the law, that is our religion. In addition, immunization is a voluntary process to which self-determination to choose not to participate in the process is absolute. Any further discussion or retaliation regarding religion as it relates to the immunization process is a supreme violation. All violators are subject to enforcement to the Constitution and the treaties, and are subject to financial liabilities. Moorish Americans are not Negro, colored, black, African American, foreigners, subjects, citizens, corporate persons, nor any brand and tags that denote to chattel property and forced servitude. Moorish American nationals are the true Americans, the true Al-Moroccans, the de jure American Al-Moroccs, the true rock to which we stand on, for, and at America. I and all Moorish American nationals are the law and the government. It is written in the Integrity and Accountability Code that all foreign subjects, commercial mercenaries, and corporate citizen persons are to take action with integrity at all times and at all points in time. All foreign subject commercial mercenaries are to promote the well-being for the people and take accountability for living those values. All subjects are to be identified for the record, on the record, and to let the record show and ensure that order and compliance is sustained on the land. All foreign subject commercial mercenaries are to take accountability for performing those values in their corporate capacities. Let it be known that all foreigners operating in a corporate capacity will face financial penalties in their personal and professional capacity when the supreme laws for the land have been violated. It is written that all foreign subject workers are to follow the supreme laws for the land, state their name and nationality upon command, and obey the law at all times, post haste, with no further comment. The expectation is that all subjects conduct commercial activity business utilizing proper, competent decision making and seek clarity from Moorish American nationals and consuls relative to taking the proper action, right actions at all times, non pro tunc. When commands are handed down, whether it be written affidavit or spoken affidavit, the command is to be carried through, non pro tunc, and at all times without delay. It is written that foreign subjects are to avoid conflicts. To avoid conflicts, foreign subjects doing business at the Empire State for Morocco are to use proper, right actions and competent decision making with integrity to avoid situations that may lead to even the appearance of conflict. I and all Moorish American nationals are the law and the government at all times and at all points in time. Moorish American nationals are the heirs to all land, all commerce, and all natural resources on the land, to include structures, fixtures, accommodations, facilities, and the like. I and all Moorish American nationals are the heirs to all land, all commerce, and all natural resources. Do you understand? Ignorance for the law is no excuse. An unrebutted affidavit stands as law and is the law non pro tunc. Upon my inherited status, I, Kanisha LaShawn Lamb, Karima Bey, being ascendant from the great pharaohs from Kemet and the ancient Moabites, in other respect known as American, Moroccan, Moor, standing squarely upon my oath to the 5 points to light: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Being competent in my own proper person to attest to this affidavit upon which I place my autograph, whereas I state, proclaim, and declare the following to be true, correct, not misleading, and not intended to be presented for any misrepresented, colored, or improper use or purpose. And for the record, the oath to which we have stated is to ourselves. Islam.